Hello. I'm going to make a little video here of an ode to Catholicism. What do Catholics or Catholicism have right? The first thing that belongs on the top of this list, to the best of my knowledge, none of the LDS General Conference or LDS Temple protesters are Catholics. Every 6 months, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has important meetings, and every 6 months, there are people around the conference center trying to talk the Latter-day Saints into leaving their religion. They're not just preaching Jesus or trying to spread the gospel. They are, when you go position yourself outside of any religious group's meeting with big signs protesting them, that's not you just teaching your stuff. That's you attacking them. And Catholics don't do that. They're nice. So, thumbs up on that one, Catholics. One principle that virtually everyone that's not a Catholic or a Mormon, maybe Jehovah's Witnesses too, get really misunderstand, even though the scriptures aren't so vague about it that it's understandable how they could misunderstand, is the principle of faith and grace and works. The only place in the Bible where the words faith only exist is in the book of James. James chapter 2. You see then how that by works a man is justified, not by faith only. This is the only place in the scriptures where it says faith only or grace only. And a lot of evangelical Christians act like it doesn't say that. They're like chanting, oh, it's by grace only. There's nothing you can do. Don't need to worry about obeying the commandments. And they're wrong. And Catholics are right about that issue. I don't think the exact ordinances that the Catholic Church does are the ones that God expects out of us to receive the greatest blessings that we can. But in general, the principle of you do have to do something is something that the Catholics understand. And one other principle Catholics or Catholicism understands, Jesus Christ talked about founding a church and putting Peter at the head of the church. But a lot of Christians talk like there is no church. They use the word church, but they don't mean an organized group of people with a leader called by God. Catholicism is an organized church. And that matters because if you believe that God would just give somebody a dream to go open up a mega church, and that's how God's going to do things, you're accusing God of being very haphazard and unclear about who we should listen to and what his principles are. And I don't believe the Catholic Church is the true church. Please don't misunderstand that in saying I'm encouraging non-Catholics to join it. But Catholicism is an organized religion, which is more than can be said for virtually all of Protestantism and evangelical Christianity. And one reason that matters is priesthood authority. It is clear as day if you look at the Bible. Jesus gave power to his apostles. and that power is needed to do things. Otherwise, Simon the magician in Acts chapter 9 would have just started laying hands on people's head, but there was a certain authority needed to do things. Another example of why that authority matters is they met people who said they had been in the book of Acts. Sorry, I'm not remembering the chapter off the top of my head. They met people who had been baptized of John's baptism, but things weren't really clear, and so those people got rebaptized to make sure it was done right. And that, again, to the story of Simon the magician, there's power needed to do things. Philip was able to baptize when Peter and John came. They didn't rebaptize the people in Samaria when Philip baptized thousands, but they came to give the gift of the Holy Ghost, which had not happened yet because Philip did not have that power. And Protestantism and evangelical Christianity does not have a leg to stand on when it comes to that issue. Either the Catholic Church has the true authority from God, and you would lose that authority by breaking away from them, or if you never were a part of them, you can't claim that authority. Either that's the true Church of the authority, or a church that had that authority restored, not by a dream, because God did not give people dreams to get authority. Paul had that vision, and then he went to Ananias. He didn't just have the vision and boom, he was an apostle. He had a vision, he went to Ananias, he went to the other apostles, and got ordained. But the other option would be a church where it's been restored, and that's what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is. John the Baptist, who baptized Jesus, brought the priesthood that Philip used to baptize the Samaritans. Samaria? The ones in this chapter 8 or 9 of Acts. And Peter, James, and John, Jesus Christ's first presidency of his church in the New Testament times, came and gave the Melchizedek priesthood and the authority of apostleship to Joseph Smith and Oliver Cowdery in 1829. Thank you for watching this. You have a good day. So in closing, Catholics are nice. They don't misunderstand grace and faith. And when it comes to priesthood authority and power of God, I don't believe they're right. But at least they have a metaphorical leg to stand on, and Protestantism and evangelicalism have no metaphorical leg to stand on that issue.